When the Oklahoma State football schedule came out, Saturday's trip to Kyle Field was viewed as a business trip. Now it looks more like an adventure. From the Opubco studios in Oklahoma City, I'm Mike Sherman, and this is The Press Row. My guests, as always, are Oklahoma columnist John Rohde and Jenny Carlson. Barry Trammell's on vacation. Jenny, here's this game. Oklahoma State at A&M used to be a huge landmark game for the Cowboys to see where they are. I think when this schedule came out, we checked that off and said, that's a win for the Cowboys. Was that silly talk?
Well, not when the season started. I think that this was definitely a game where you looked at it and you said, Oklahoma State is the better team going into this game. A&M coming back from years of last few years just not being great, and A&M showed themselves to be a little bit better than we expected. But I think Oklahoma State, we felt like this was going to be a game they could go down there and win. 2 years ago, they nearly did. Zach Robinson gets hurt. So things were pointing in the right direction. Maybe the Kyle Field mojo we should have thought about, John, but at the same time, it really looked like Oklahoma State was the better team in this game.
I mean, yes, if it's an adventure, every trip down there's an adventure. A lot of short haircuts and kissing and swaying and all sorts of stuff. But OSU is a 9 or a 10-point favorite. It should still be a check mark. Not many teams go down there, Jenny, as that big of a favorite. It should still be a gimme. If OSU is truly as good as we think it is, which it hasn't shown yet, it should be a gimme. I think it just turns up the heat, Mike. This is one you don't want to choke off. This is 0-1 in conference play with the worst team in the South. That's not a good start.
Okay, the Cowboys start off with a big win over Georgia, lose to Houston, have what looks like 2 scrimmages. The Rice game didn't turn out that way. The Grambling game did. So where does this leave us?
I don't know. I really don't. I mean, that's an honest-to-goodness answer. I thought after the Georgia game, I really felt like that was going to be a game when we could say, we know about this team. Here's what we know. It's going to carry through the rest of the year. To have that turned on its head so quickly against Houston, and then, as you said, not having really played games in their next 2, it was really, I think it's really left more questions than answers at this point. Offensively, they need to get healthy. Defense, too, with Parrish Cox out, but they need to get healthy offensively, and they need that offensive line to continue to develop. I still think that's an area where you're maybe seeing that shuffling. It's starting to sort of settle down, and if that offensive line can get going and they can get healthy, I think they could be the team we thought they were before the season started.
It's so bad you don't know how good these teams are that they've already played. Georgia lost last week. Houston lost to UTEP. Rice lost to Tulsa. Grambling State lost to Prairie View. And the team they're playing this week, Texas A&M, also lost. So what have they proven? What do we know? On top of that, this Kendall Hunter thing, guys, I don't know if he'll play. And that's why Jeremy Smith came out, Jenny. I think that's why they went to their fourth tailback. You go, wait a minute, hidden message here, Kendall Hunter not ready to go. I don't think he'll be ready to go Saturday either. Parrish Cox is beat up. Des Bryant seems to be good to go. So slowly but surely, hopefully they're more healthy. But that's where a lot of the questions lie.
I think the Kendall Hunter loss of the 3 offensive guys, if you just said who can they stand to lose most, I think it would have been Kendall Hunter. But that's because of the depth they had at that running back position. It's a good thing they've had that depth because they lost Kai Staley before the season started. Then Kendall Hunter goes down with this ankle injury that's left him day to day and week to week. And now Jeremy Smith. If they didn't have that depth at running back, I'm not sure where they'd be. They'd really be in a world of hurt. But Kendall Hunter clearly gives them a pop and a dimension out of the backfield that none of the rest of those guys give. When he gets healthy, he'll definitely make an impact on that offense.
Okay, beyond Oklahoma State, there is the matter of A&M and how they look. Another mobile quarterback, that usually doesn't bode well for the Cowboys. Didn't bode well when they played Houston. What do you think of A&M these days, John?
Well, I don't know if you shadow Jared Johnson because he's Vince Young light. Well, Vince Young light. I mean, nobody's going to be Vince Young, but he's got that body build, Jenny, and he's elusive, and he can throw the ball. And their offense has rolled up some really good numbers against some really bad teams. Yeah. This is a coming out party for both teams. And you were asking earlier, Mike, do we rely on the defense? Do we wonder, do we put the pressure on Zach Robinson, Des Bryant, Kendall Hunter? I don't ever want to leave it up to the OSU defense. No disrespect. I'm just saying, hey, look, Zach, it's your team. lead the way, and how you go, I think that's how OSU will go.
Yeah, and I think the OSU offense can put up some points on this A&M defense. A&M and the whole defensive-minded football of yesteryear, that's gone. That whole idea of Texas A&M being a great defensive team, they're going to have to earn that, and that hasn't happened, not even close yet. So I think offensively, Oklahoma State's going to be able to do some things. But clearly, mobile quarterbacks have been an issue, and it's not so much. I think they've maybe gotten guys into the backfield, but then it's been a matter of wrapping up, not over pursuing, just really being mindful of what a guy can do. No doubt it's difficult. That's why these guys are sought after nowadays. But he's the key to this offense. Johnson is for Texas A&M. They have to do better, and they better start doing better soon, because he's not the last of those guys they're going to see in the Big 12. There's a lot more guys that will do that throughout the year. So better get on it and better get that figured out soon.
Thanks, guys. That's all for this edition of the Press Row, but you can stay with the best coverage team anywhere, every day at News OK, and every morning in the Oklahoman.